Here we go. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Android App Addicts number 593. This podcast is brought to you by patient Patreon supporters who understand once in a while life gets crazy busy. Really quick, want to say hi to Eric in the chat, hi to Red in the chat, and say hi to Eddie333, the Patreon supporter who helps this thing keeping going forward and keeps letting me buy stuff like monsters behind my wife's back because I like monsters. We're also brought to you by some things that my wife might not like as well. Hey, Ivor and Josh. How you doing, Ivor?
What, you really? You think your wife might not like me?
Well, she doesn't have good taste, obviously.
It's probably justified. Yeah. It's like your hairdresser.
I take it that means everything's good down in Kiwi land.
Everything's great. Everything's normal. Yeah, down in Kiwi land. Yeah, we're having a great time here. We're slipping into the depths of winter, but it's still been pretty warm. So, yeah, it's not too bad.
Gotcha.
I'm deaf, by the way. I've now got hearing aids. Can you see them there? So I was fitted last week for hearing aids, and they're specially adapted Bluetooth hearing aids. So I am now actually listening to you guys through my hearing aids.
So that means we can hack them, Josh.
Fantastic. They're great.
Let's do it.
Huh?
You probably could.
Bluetooth.
It's a good thing it's not a pacemaker.
Yeah, exactly. Bluetooth MAC address spoofing. Here we go.
I'm rapidly becoming an old man. I know I'm deaf. I'm old. I'm tired. I've got a bad back. I've got all the symptoms of getting old.
Don't forget dumb.
And dumb.
What about memory issues?
I forget everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, I forget everything. Did I say that already?
Yeah. So how are you doing, Josh?
I'm doing pretty well, Dor. Just it's been a long time. Been doing a lot of gardening, getting fruits and vegetables planted and up and running, building a chicken tractor. Gonna try to get 6 laying chickens. Haven't really spent that much time indoors on my computer lately, which has been pretty nice. And I had to wrestle a black bear that just came through our yard a little while ago.
That might cause an issue, yeah.
But
I'm crazy. My sister-in-law did just get another, I think it was 6 chickens. They're almost to the point to where now she can let those chickens intermingle with the older chickens. Before that, they would eat them. So, chickens. I've been crazy busy in a good way is what I'm going to say. My oldest son graduated school. Huzzah. He graduated school with a 1.6 GPA. Ooh. Which meant he didn't care about school, but he did just enough to pass. Of course, then he was turned down by every college because, 1.6 GPA, they're not that desperate quite yet. So then he said he wanted to join a military branch to be in the military band. Well, that's more like thing than I did when I was his age, so I'm not going to tell him no. I just want him to choose the right branch of the military. Everyone has their, whatever. And I'm okay with that kind of thing. We had a graduation party. I made 6 racks of ribs and 120 chicken wings. I figured out 30 hours in the sous vide at 169 degrees for pork ribs. It's a little bit too long. As soon as I pulled them out of the bags, the bones just flew out instantaneously. So then we had pork rib sandwiches kind of thing. So it still worked.
Nothing wrong with that, Dor.
Yeah. Youngest son has to go to summer school this year. But I will say, I do think every couple weeks he's gaining in maturity, which will hopefully help him in future years. Except for that, I'll just say, been busy on the tech front, laughing at everything that Apple's doing because it looks stupid and useless and overpriced. Perplexed by some of the stuff Google is doing because it's some of the stuff is insanely overpriced, and some of the other stuff is like, really? Okay. $150 for a tablet stand seems a little Apple-ish, is the way I'll put it. Except for that, just seeing more people coming out with more foldable stuff. The Motorola Razr, the new one this year, looks really nice. So we'll see what's going to become more popular as time goes on. But it seems like every manufacturer now believes future Android stuff or future mobile stuff will be folding in one shape, way, or form.
Yep, it's getting cheaper as well.
It is, but still, the Pixel 7 Fold, I want to say, was $1,700.
Yeah,
So you're saying
getting cheap. No, but the Motorola Razr, the foldable that's coming out next year, is pretty cheap.
Yeah,
It's like
$799.
$800.
Yeah.
Are you predicting that most Android phone companies are going to fold?
Exactly. The way I'll put it is, I don't know if you guys had this where you're at, but the classic foldable non-smartphones, you could not walk into an establishment and buy. They were still being made, but none of them places were supporting them because they all wanted you to get the more expensive plans and more expensive phones, blah, 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 blah. Now the old people are like revolting, and they want the classic dumb foldable phone. So now at least they're starting to return a little bit more at those kind of shops. So I think we're going to have, dare I say, a bifurcation, at least here in the US, where some people are going to insist on stupid, cheap phones, and then some people are going to insist on high-end whatever phones.
I was looking.
Yeah, I mean, sorry, you go, Josh.
I was looking the other day because I think it's about time that I got a new phone. You probably remember better than I do how long, because I'm getting old too, Ivor. How long I've had this one, which is the Huawei P30, P20, P30.
At least 2.5, if not 3 years.
More, I think. Yeah, I was thinking like 5, but I think maybe it's time to get a new one. And I was looking on the TELUS website, and there was quite a few refurbished fold phones on there. So I don't know if that's people getting them and saying, "Nah, I'm good," taking them back, or if they're just trying to push them a bit more now.
Well, and I'm pretty sure the very first couple gens, pieces or parts would fail, so they would return them, and then they would try to rebuild them and sell them as refurbs. I'm sure I would suspect a high percentage of those phones, but I guarantee you some people did get the fold, and then like 10 days into it, like, this is extra work. Kind of like my nephew pointed out, we were in a hardware store. We stumbled across my mother-in-law looking to buy a fridge. And one of the refrigerators there, you literally walk up to the fridge, knock on the fridge door, and then basically I don't know if it turns transparent and shows you what's inside the fridge, or it just is big display that shows you a picture of what's inside the fridge. And my wife was like, "Oh my God, that's so cool." And he, being a kid, pointed out, "That's the stupidest thing I've ever seen in my life. It takes just as much effort to knock on the door than it does to open the door. I'm just going to open the damn door." Wow. Okay. You're right. You're right. So now I officially believe fridge displays of what's inside the fridge is completely moronic. Like 3D curved televisions. Just useless.
Yeah, but hang on. My kids spend half their lives standing in front of an open fridge, letting all the cold air out of it.
Do you think they're going to respect that screen? They're going to think, Dad's getting in the screen, and he's taking out the good coal out of that picture. So screw that. I'm opening the door.
Well, I thought when you started that story, because I'm still in the midst of a extremely lengthy warranty for a Frigidaire stand-up freezer that we bought at Costco, and it crapped the bed probably 4 months ago.
Damn.
And I've been dealing with Frigidaire, Costco, the repair company, which is local from 150 miles away, and it's just been miserable. They call me back, "Well, we need your Costco number." yeah, I gave it to you last time you called me, and just stuff like that. So I figured you're gonna say that you walked out and you just tap on the door of the freezer or the refrigerator and it just falls off, because that seems to be the way that it's going at this point.
But yeah, stuff isn't built like it used to is somewhat true. I definitely agree.
Dude, it's garbage.
I'd hack it so that it showed up with a picture. When you knock on it, it shows up with a picture of all this delicious food. And then when they open the door, there's like vegetables and
yeah,
old cheese, that sort of thing.
Yeah, so
that's the kind of guy I am.
So I'll just say a quick hardware update on my end. I'm with the Pixel 6a. I don't completely feel like a beta tester. I somewhat do though, because after I get an update, I get a long list of features on my screen pop up telling me all these new things that my phone can do, all the other things that my phone can do, and all the other things that my phone can do. And yet sometimes when I answer a phone, I still go, hello, hello, and hello, hello, and people can't hear me. And I got to hang up and call them back. So I kind of feel like a beta tester.
Is it on Bluetooth? That happens to me all the time. I'll have my headphones connected, but have them off. And then I'll be trying to, hello, hello.
I'm still using my old phone basically as a podcast player. And I'm using the new phone as just a phone. That's what I'm trying to do. So yeah, it's not Bluetooth. It's just once in a while, doesn't feel like answering or hear my voice and stuff. And the same thing applies where every now and then, if I do something too quick is the way I'll put it, the phone will literally hiccup and burp. If I too quickly access something from a sleep mode that wants to try to access LastPass or CVS or something that needs a fingerprint reader, it's a behind the screen fingerprint reader. So what will happen is the phone will pop up with a fingerprint reader and go, pop, 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 and then nope, now you have to log in with a password. So the phone isn't perfectly clean is what I'll say. Nothing has been as clean in my experience as the classic 1+1 experience.
Well, I've had 3 phones in my life, so I can't really speak to that. If anybody could talk about 1,000 different phones and which one operates the best, it would definitely be Ivor.
Yeah, I've had 3 phones in the last month.
You still have your goofy, whatever gimmicky.
Yeah, Flip. Yeah, here it is. Asus Flip. I like Asus. They do good phones. I'm getting more and more used to this. Here it is. Hey.
That's so weird.
I was having problems. A lot of my text messages weren't getting through. And I don't know why, because I couldn't figure out. I changed text message clients. I restarted the phone. I had all sorts of issues with sending text messages, and they weren't going through. They weren't going out, and they weren't coming in. So I had to reset the phone, and started using Google Messages. And surprise, surprise! Now all my text messages work and arrive and are sent reliably. So it makes you wonder, because I had Google Messages disabled before. Now it's not disabled, and suddenly everything works properly. So I'm wondering what the hell's going on there.
Well, I will say it depends then what app you're using and how intertwined it is accessing the local app called Carrier Services. The local app called Carrier Services defines which types of text messaging is available, which is optional, and which will work right now. Like the RCS is the one level that, and my phone will warn me in Google Messenger if I try to send a RCS message to someone who's currently offline, and it will literally say, message did not get through, other clients probably offline, click here. And then when I click there, it will give me the offer to send it via SMS. When you send it via SMS, then you don't get receipts, and you're not sure if the other person was delivered or read or anything. Yeah, but it wouldn't shock me if Google, being Google, everything has to hit their servers first for audit purposes, and then goes to the end. Yeah.
But I'll give the devil its due, though, that Google Messages is pretty good as an app.
Well, and Google Messages on the web. When you access
Yeah,
it,
that's
when
what
you're
I
on the same
use
like
on
a,
the web as well.
it works nice. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it works. It just works.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that part of it, but maybe I can turn it off. But the auto replies, every once in a while, I'll accidentally hit that when I'm trying to hit the text box.
Mm-hmm.
And
I
then,
know.
yeah.
I just
then
wish
I-
everyone would use Voxer. I'm just saying,
Mm.
or anything else.
Yeah.
I have a problem with Voxel. I can't, when you guys post photos on there, I can't see them for like a day.
Mm.
They won't, they don't come through until the next day. Which
Well,
is weird.
I'll say this: I'm a bit of a administration Nazi on my phone. Is the way I'll put it. Every week, I go through every conversation, tap, hold, delete all conversation history. It's basically deleting all the local cache for the app. Android by its own has limits that's set, and then when it exceeds the limits, it gets rid of the old stuff. I find every now and then when I just delete the entire history of a conversation, it as an app performs more sane. I'm not going to say better because it still is flaky as hell, but more sane.
Well, it can get pretty large too, as far as the cache or the storage space.
That's what she said.
Rare
Yeah.
4.5.
Well, and the unfortunate thing is, the larger the storage on your device, the larger it will let the cache be.
Oh, right. Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
You must be able to set that though as a setting.
I know the administrator of the app who pushes it up can set default priority levels. I do think there is a way that you can only with the root change the cache size. As far as Google News, I would say this: Pixel 7 Fold, or whatever, Pixel Fold, too expensive. Pixel tablet, $499, almost fairly priced. If it was $100 less, I would say it's bordering fairly priced. And then if it was $50 less than that, I would consider it to be fairly priced. But then to buy the stand is another $150. So $650 for a tablet and a stand. And I will remind everybody, no matter how cool people think tablets are, they never use them as much as they expect to use them. It's just the fact of life.
Yeah.
The phone is just much more convenient. It's right there.
Yeah, they're mainly a child entertainment device.
For
really,
kids who are not old enough to have a phone yet. Yes. Yeah.
Yep.
And then the new Pixel, and then the new Pixel 7, which I will say, it looks really nice. I mean, honestly, I do think they have got the form feel of a phone down pretty well. I love how basically now everything is virtually edge to edge screen. The idea of having a chin or a bumper at the top is basically gone on phones. And I like that. I'm not gonna lie. Now they just are doing the same thing. Apple's becoming more like Android, and Android is becoming more like Apple. Revision after revision after revision.
What age do you guys reckon a child should get a phone? I don't think we've ever
Depends on the child, really.
breached this subject on here.
Yeah, breached. Well, I mean, I'll start by saying it depends on the kid. My youngest is quite ADD, quite impromptu, quite, imaginative is the way I put it. I think we should have waited to give him a phone to at least 10 or 12. At least. I think we gave him a phone too early to where now, I think quite literally on his own, if we left him to his own, at least 16 to 20 hours straight, he would watch YouTube.
Yeah, that's all it is. YouTube.
Yeah. My oldest was so much more at least understanding of stuff where, yeah, he'll sit there and watch YouTube for an hour or two. But we gave him a phone. I want to say it was, it was sixth grade. So it was almost 10 years old when we got him his phone. And he was unbelievably like respectful. Like when I explained to him, no, you need to turn on location sharing to me, and I'm turning on location sharing to you. So at any time of any day, I can see where you're at and you can see where I'm at. This is called family. Okay. Kind of thing. And he's been really respectful with that. Leaving it on, not turning it off, and then doing whatever his 18-year-old self wants to do. So with him, I think 10 years old was like perfectly fine. I don't understand the people that give a phone to a kid who's literally like 7 or 6 years old.
Yeah, we use Family Link. So the Google Family Link, which I think is quite good. It restricts the amount of time you can spend. You get all sorts of levels of control over what child can and can't do. It shows you the child's location if they have their data turned on. But yeah, our daughter's my youngest daughter's in a bit of a special situation because she catches a bus to school in the morning. So I want to, we give her the cell phone so she can tell me if there's a problem with the bus. Of course, whenever there is a problem with the bus, the last thing she does is call me. And whenever I try to call her,
you said you
never
give
answers.
her the cell phone, so you guys all just share one. So how is she supposed to call you anyway? New Zealand, one phone per family.
That's all we're allowed.
So what age do you think then, Ivor? Let's. Pretty sure Eric said 27 in the chat.
27,
wow.
yeah. When they're old enough to pay for it for themselves.
That was Ivor actually in the chat. He puts all of his zingers in the chat and doesn't put them actually so people can hear them on the show.
Well, see, the average sign-up age for social media is about 13, I think. So that's about the time that I suppose people can start. That most teenagers are interested in using a phone, but a lot of them are actually really interested before that as well. I think I had my daughter coming to me when she was 8 saying, "Can I sign up for Facebook?" And hell no. So
that just means they have friends at school.
Again, you're right.
Who mentioned it.
It just depends on the kid.
Yeah, and peer pressure is real, kind of thing. So the stupid parents who literally give their kid a phone at the age of like 6, then your kid's gonna be like, "Well, why does Jimmy have a phone?" Kind of thing.
Yeah, we're not.
Yeah, all my friends have a phone.
Yeah, our kid will be 5 next month, which is insane by itself. But I mean, it's just you can just see like a moth to a flame, right? Whenever there's a screen, like, whoa, what's going on over here? What's going on over here? And I mean, we tell people because I don't know, our house just a hub for crazies, but they, it'd be first thing in the morning and they'll get out their phone or their computer and Solomon will go over there and you're like, dude, all right, no screen time. Like we've got specific times where you can watch animal shows or whatever on the TV, but yeah, just trying to curb it, but it's so difficult too, right?
Yeah, I mean, the other thing I'll say is the more time you as a parent are willing to spend with your child handling that device, the earlier you can go. So if you have nothing but time on your hands and you can literally help, be like the concierge service and show the kid this is this, and literally sit with the kid and discover new things, it could be younger. I don't have that kind of time, so I can't do that. The other thing I just want to say really quick was we talk about, all my other friends do it. My oldest son is he graduated high school with a 1.6, but he is definitely not dumb. When my wife said to him, "Well, what if all your friends were jumping off a bridge? Would you jump up too?" To which he said instantly, "Well, it matters what they were doing. Were they like escaping a fire or something? Yeah, I'll jump off too." I was like, oh, he nailed you. He just, oh man. And I just left the room because I'm not, no. He just like literally like pulled out like the master card, boom, throw on the table, done. So it's like, man, I'm going to be really careful when I argue with this kid in the future. Ooh, he's sharp.
Well, I think the other thing that kids are doing is losing their phones quite often and breaking them as well. So And so be prepared to replace it every year, at least once a year.
Yeah, but that's you as well, though. So I mean, I might just be a foul.
Yeah, that's me as well.
I'll say that's not the case with us, and there's a reason why. We force our kids to do some amount of work around the house. Nothing is hard. Nothing is backbreaking. It's literally emptying the trash, mowing the lawn, cleaning the toilets. 'Cause I don't want to clean
Digging
the
for
toilets.
gold.
Vacuuming, doing all this kind of chore stuff, and we pay them. And we honestly, we overpay them, is to say one word. We clearly overpay them. But they also don't go out the door and they don't go to the store themselves very often. So they end up having more money in their bank account than I have in my bank account. So when they break their phone, they buy their new phone. And then when they see, oh, my account said this, and the phone costs this much, okay, I'm going to be a little more careful. Dad, can I get a case for my phone? You sure can, and I'll buy you the case, kind of thing. So, like, like after their second phone, that's what I'm going to say, they all just became more diligent about not throwing it, not slamming it, not dropping it if they can help it. My oldest son, the only time he gets a new phone is when it stops making phone calls, kind of thing.
Going back to what you were saying about if you have the time to be a concierge and walk them through. For me, that time I find other things to do besides be on the phone. Like he's pretty big into math right now, and so we'll just do math problems or hangman. But I've changed it to bicycle man, where you just write the lines across. Okay, it's 5 letters, this word, and then you guess the letters for the word. Like that kind of stuff he just eats up. So for me, I try to not use my phone with him at all and just take those times that we have and either force him to do manual labor or do math.
Wow. I'm flabbergasted. Manual labor or maths. Do you force him to eat broccoli as well?
No, he loves it, man. He loves the broccoli.
He loves the broccoli.
Oh,
Yeah,
he
my
loves
oldest
fruits and vegetables, man.
Yeah.
Not as much as ice cream, but he still likes them.
Yeah, there is a video series I make my kids watch at least every year. It's from the channel called Crash Course. And I will say, I don't know if you guys are aware of Crash Course or anything. Crash Course is a completely non-profit, is the way I'll put it, company that only wants to try to create content that teaches basic things in an entertaining way. Almost like, the K thing. That
Khan Academy.
Yeah, kind of like Khan Academy,
Right.
but not as technically kind of thing. It's like world history kind of thing. But they have this one series called Navigating Digital Information that I make my kids watch at least once a year, sometimes quicker, just to remind them, essentially, it doesn't matter what you see, anywhere you see it, nothing you should take as a bald-faced truth as this is it. You should always do some sort of, I don't want to say fact checking because that seems stigmatized to this time of year kind of thing. Just go check other sources, see what they say kind of thing. Because I do believe, for some reason we walk down the street and if the guy asks you a personal question you randomly run into, you don't answer it. But for some reason online, everybody seems more willing to just give up personal information or just believe what they're seeing. I don't know what's going on there. So I make them watch this series that I put in the YouTube chat. And I like it because I used to believe my job title at work shouldn't be, software engineer or information system specialist, whatever. I felt like my job title should be Senior Internet Research Specialist 2. Because I'm really good at using Google. You know what I mean? Watching this video series reminded me of what I was doing good in Google, and like, oh, yeah. They're talking about the same kind of thing. Okay, yeah. So they're making it easier for people to digest, is what I'll put it.
You got to be careful even with those learning ones, though. I put the kid in front of the Khan Academy, and after like 25 minutes, he went out and started raising villages and just burning crops. And it turned out it was the Genghis Khan Academy.
Genghis Khan was in charge of the Mongols. The Mongols were the only people who ever successfully defeated Russia in Russia. I'm just saying.
Yeah, it took out the Chinese too.
They had something going right, and they had a choice. Hello, we're the Mongols. You have a choice. You can join us. We'll give you economic freedom, religious freedom, and personal freedom, or you can die right now. And most people pick the right choice. But unfortunately, what came with the deal was, this guy over here, he's going to impregnate every single woman in your town. Just let you know.
That's right, Brother Door and Brother Ivor.
Getting back on track, I'm going to be really interested to see what my kids do when they have kids, and what rules they're going to put around digital devices, and even if they will have digital devices. What's going to happen there?
I'll just say, in my personal experience, it seems like almost like the TikTok mentality. When parents are strict, their children are less strict. And then when the parents are less strict, the kids are more strict. And there's this constantly back and forth kind of thing. And the way I'll describe my parenthood, I'm almost embarrassed to say it, because I'm almost like a beatnik. I'm almost a beatnik in the sense of, I'm not going to drill my children and tell them what they need to think, what they need to do, what they need to be in life. I don't want to force them to do that. I want them to decide their own way. I just want to make sure they understand their choices, understand their options, and understand that if they make this choice, this might happen. And if this happens, come let me know and we'll figure out some other stuff. I think, but like when people heard what branch of military my son wanted to join, they turned to me and said, "You can't let him do that." And I'm like, he's an adult, number one. Number two, what makes you think he listens to me? Did you listen to your parents when you were 18? I'm pretty sure you didn't. Okay. So don't tell me what I need to do. If you think he's doing the wrong thing, you communicate to him like he's an adult, and he'll listen to you like you're an adult, unless you act like a child. Kind of thing. Yeah. Why are you telling me? You know what I mean? It's like complaining to me about my wife's driving. Go complain to her. Not me. I have no control over such a thing.
You're less scary.
Well, and I make really good wings.
Yeah, but I heard that your ribs are a little bit off of the mark.
It was just that one time. Look, significant shrinkage. I was in a pool. Let it go.
Yeah, that's right. It was a cold day.
Yeah. Yeah.
Have you guys ever heard of this operating system called Android? It has apps. Do you guys have any?
I know one app that you want to talk about.
Was it supported by President Hector Alonso Mountain Dew Camacho?
What? I remember Hector Macho Camacho.
Idiocracy. Terry Crews.
Ah, so good.
The finest movie ever made.
One of.
Apart from the cast.
Yeah, right, exactly. 24 hours a die.
But he didn't mean to do it. He was just in the wrong crowd.
He defended Wayne, and he got 8 years.
Yeah, but you did your best.
Yeah, but you didn't rob them.
And welcome to the section of the podcast where we do 20 minutes worth of castle quotes before we get on with actually talking about Android apps.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I just noticed I bookmarked some stuff and it wasn't working. I think my ITFF is broken, which is what, of course, my wife said last night.
What is even happening here?
I don't know. I want to talk about one app that we brought about a while ago. And it's because I always like options and stuff. This was one of the apps we brought forward called Motion Monkey. Partially, great name, Motion Monkey. How can you go wrong? It's called Motion Monkey. But I will say this app saw a significant upgrade. The last time we brought this show to the app, we kind of agreed that, there were other apps out there in air quotes that did better. Not any fault of Motion Monkey. It was still a young app. It was right after we had, I think it was Vanced Die kind of thing. So then we had these other apps trying to fill these gaps. Motion Monkey has made, I'll just say this, really good progress in the last couple months. If you need to have a video watching app that works with different backends like Twitch, TikTok, Facebook, Last.fm, YouTube, and all these other video hubs, BitTorrent, Dailymotion, Vimeo, all this other stuff, SoundCloud. This is like one app to cover all those kinds of bases. So it might be worth checking out again, is the way I'll put it.
Yeah, great. I mean, I had a quick look at this when you first, but never really went anywhere with it. It was a bit clunky, but hopefully they've improved that now. So that's great.
Well, I mean, the way I'll put it is, it's one of those things. It's in motion. Motion Monkey. It's in motion. I do think it's like, okay, I've been watching this one guy about AI stuff, and when he shows you something that's janky, he always says, don't forget, it only gets better from here. I do believe with Motion Monkey, it's one of those things, if you put in the time with it, it only gets better from here. So the only question is, when does it meet?
I'm surprised it's actually available on the Play Store.
Mm-hmm.
You can download it from the Play Store, which is good.
Well, that just means it hasn't hit that sweet spot yet of 1 million+ people or whatever, to where YouTube or Google gets.
It's only got 1,000 downloads at the moment. So, yeah. All right, perhaps we can change that then.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I've got an app.
Okay.
I'll just put the link in here. So this is an app that will make your family put a pillow over your face at night. So this is called Big Ben Bonger Plus. So basically every 15 minutes, it makes the sound of Big Ben bonging. For no particular reason. I mean, if you're pining for London, if you're an expat from London, and you want to hear the sound of Big Ben, this is your app. Basically, that's all it does. It just plays every 15 minutes. It plays the Big Ben sound.
It's $2.59, man.
Yeah, so
It's much cheaper than a ticket to London.
Well, then permission to be anal.
Go right ahead.
Yeah, we're asking permission now.
Big Ben is not the name of the clock nor the bell. They both have different names.
That's true. So you can set 15 and 45-minute chimes, half-hour chimes on the hour strike. So you can select which ones you want to go, or you want all of them, or just one of them. The volume. It's got this thing called a pendulum, which I think means it shows you a pendulum swinging. And it has a quiet time you can set. You can set what time. Quiet time. It's got a dark mode and various themes and stuff. I like it because it's really annoying. It goes off. If you set it to go off every 15 minutes in the middle of a conversation, you have to stop and wait for this thing to stop before you can carry on your conversation. It's fantastic. I love it.
Okay, so yeah, Big Ben Bonger Plus. I wanted to say it slow, just to be sure. Big Ben Bonger Plus by UMike Apps, real apps filling real needs.
Eric says this is why you.
I had this installed for a day, and my wife threatened divorce.
Yeah, Eric says in the chat that this is why you're deaf.
It probably is.
And I'm pretty sure in university we had a Big Ben bong.
Is that why all your hair fell up?
This is it. This one has probably been brought on here. It's probably been brought in, but sync thing. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to step on you there. Are you done with Big Ben Bonger Plus?
I'm done. There's not much else that's involved with Big Ben Bonger Plus.
Actually, I have one question. What makes it plus? And is there a Big Ben Bonger that's not a plus?
Yes, there is a Big Ben Bonger. There's another version which is useful for apps, Android 13 and lower, I think. So the Big Ben Bonger Plus is for, I think, and later versions of Android.
All right then. So sync thing. Actually, I should have brought another one first. I've been trying to sort out this app called Obsidian, which is a personal knowledge base. And I don't really understand it completely yet, but somebody had recommended it. And it's sort of a way to map your mind. So there's a YouTube video that I need to watch apparently. But once you get it sorted out, apparently it's an extremely efficient way to take notes and jot down things that are up in your brain, because your brain is made for creating thoughts, not keeping them, at least mine. And so I was trying to figure out a way to sync this Obsidian app between my laptop and my phone. And they have it's like $10 a month for a sync through Obsidian, but I didn't want to pay
$10?
$8, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
And didn't want to. And so I didn't want to pay that. And so I've been trying to sort out sync thing on my laptop. I tried a couple other options to basically just sync the files between the two.
Right.
I haven't been able to get it to work properly yet, but sync thing is just a way to sync folders between. I mean, I think it must use rsync in the back end. Obviously, I did a deep dive on this.
Everything uses rsync in the back end, or it doesn't work.
Okay. So you can just install it on your computer and your phone, and then create a directory or a folder. And then, it's like a self-hosted Google Cloud or a peer-to-peer Google Cloud. So it's 4.3 average reviews out of 5.8 thousand, 100,000 downloads. And it seems to work well. It's just not working well with this Obsidian program. And so I need to do a little more tinkering with it, but it might be an option for somebody that wants to sync their devices or have a folder between their devices that they don't want to go through iCloud or Google Cloud or any other cloud.
Yeah, I will say a brief history on sync thing. It used to be called BitTorrent Sync. And what
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize that. Is it a fork?
No, they literally sold it and rebranded it. So it is sync. It is BitTorrent Sync in a couple versions after it. The beautiful thing about this protocol, this application, the method of how it does things is it is truly serverless. You can literally block every sync thing server and every BitTorrent server that exists, and the app will still work. Pardon me as Big Ben goes off.
There it is.
Oh, wait, hold on. Hands over your hearts, please. I don't know. Is that a thing?
Nah,
Now we sing God Save the King.
the British don't do that, yeah.
Jeez, just when we were on track, Door.
Next one's in 15 minutes.
And I will say, Sync. The beautiful thing about Sync thing is it is truly, completely serverless. They didn't completely. I don't want to say open source because that's not the right word. They didn't completely open document all of the protocols and services that they're taking advantage of. But the people who were able to do a lot of like network sniffing on the application says the good thing about it is it uses publicly available servers almost like DNS servers, but they're not using DNS servers to be able to relay from literally thousands of servers to make the relay between your two devices using true RSA encryption kind of thing. So we know everything in transit is completely safe. The desktop clients, I do believe, have been completely audited and they've been deemed completely safe and, of everything that's going on. The difficulty is sometimes when we have blockers on our networks, it can cause issues with connectivity. With my Pi-hole, I literally had to make an exception for that device and say, don't pay, like basically put this device out on the island. Don't administer any of our rules against that IP address. And once I did that, then Sync thing was starting to work fine, is what I'll say. But it is one of those applications that I don't know why it doesn't get enough attention, because I will say the onboarding process for this application on desktop or on mobile is quite like one clickable. It doesn't take much to get it up and running, and it doesn't take much to get it connected. You literally, it presents you with the string, you copy that string over here, you hit paste, and voila, it magically works.
That was the problem I remember I had, or probably the biggest problem I had was I tried to sync my phone to my laptop, but then I believe to make it work, I had to do the reverse as well and sync the laptop to the phone.
Right.
So it's a two-way handshake.
I believe it, but I will say this is also the kind of app that I do believe, dare I say, kind of like Debian as a distro, was given to a community of people. So there is literally no one company or individual that owns this product, which means even if it goes belly up, someone else will be able to take up the mantle and move forward. So yeah, if you can't tell, I'm kind of a fan of it.
I didn't realize that it was BitTorrent Sync, which is I used quite a bit in the past, and I now that you say it, I think I remember the rebranding, but like Ivor, I'm an idiot, so.
Well, one of those things. If you're not reminded about stuff, you forget. And like one of the companies I almost forgot about was Fairphone, only because the initial hurdle obstacle price for Fairphone I thought was a little bit high, but then I saw this article. Fairphone XL over-the-ear headphones, which I will say I'm not an audio snob, but I really do like good audio. And they have the Fairbuds XL modular headphone design to go the difference. So basically, Fairphone is now going to offer like these cans I'm wearing on my head right now, but in the Fairphone model, which means they're made to be easily take apartable and things inside of it easily replaceable if individual things fail. So I'm not going to lie. I'm now starting to save up money because I would like to buy one of these. Literally, the only reason I want to is so I can support. I think Fairphone's at least trying to do the right thing, or at least some stuff. And the review makes it sound like they're decent headphones. I don't need perfect monitoring, $600 headphones to do my job. I just need headphones.
Are they Bluetooth? They must be, right? Or...
Yeah, I do believe they are.
249
How much
249 euros according to this article.
Yeah, almost $300. But it's the kind of thing, if because they promise these are the kind of things I can buy, and 6, 10, or 12 years from now, I should be able to buy parts from them and just keep making them work again.
Do they play Big Ben Bonger Plus?
That might be an extra surcharge because it might damage the inner circuitry.
Yeah, they can only play the Big Ben banger, but not the plus model.
Not the plush, yeah.
Big Ben banger.
Big bonger banger.
Sounds like a porn film you were in a few years ago. Josh.
I kept them on.
Oh, that's right. We're not supposed to mention that part of your career, are we?
I thought this was a family show, Dor. He's not even listening to us anymore. Just
Well, it all depends on how you define family,
don't make me stop this car.
Mm-hmm. Like I say to my wife, look, there's all kinds of people out there. Some people like to have sex with goats. Let's just let them be.
That brings Ivor to his next app. Doodles out of it and just trying to get closer to the land and realize that before there were pharmaceutical companies, people still made cures for things and all of those plants still exist, and we don't need necessarily Pfizer to live healthy lives.
Nope. There's a red dot on your forehead, man.
Yeah. Why are we having connectivity issues?
Yeah, to me, it's just like, basic education of the things that are around you. That, 300 years ago, we had at least have some idea of what was around us. Now we just get up in the morning, go to our office job, and come back and just watch Netflix for like 4 hours. So yeah, I do believe
You say it like it's a bad thing.
it's whatever. I will say, I don't know what happened, but OBS took a dump, and then when I restarted OBS, then audio didn't work right. So I digress. If you think there was important things that mentioned, it will be on the audio feed because all of our local recording works, which is why you never have one source of recording for a podcast. If you do, you're going to have either a PEBCAC error or an ID10T error.
And I would say that you missed an absolute zinger from me. So listen to the audio when it comes out on.
Yeah, that was a big reveal.
Bigger than a gender reveal party.
It was a big bong reveal.
Yeah.
Please don't stand up again.
Here it is again.
Oh, jeez.
You asked for it.
That's just the quarter-hour mark.
So
It's a good way to time the podcast, actually.
you mentioned that you have to sing "God Save the King." So is it the exact same song as "God Save the Queen," but they just switch Queen and King when there's a king instead of a queen?
Well, you're part of the Commonwealth as well, mate. You should know. Don't you sing this every day?
I know. I tend to not worship lizard people.
You say God saves the Queen. All I think of is the Sex Pistols. Wasn't there called? Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
God save the Queen.
Yeah,
She ain't no human being.
Yeah.
Well, is there another one? Like I have no. I'm confused.
I don't know,
No,
Josh.
it's just God save the King.
We'll just
instead of God save
we'll
the
just
Queen.
sit back and have a gin after the show. Don't worry about it.
Yeah. Some beef eater.
Yeah. So the game I'm going to bring, because once in a while, I got to bring a game, is a game that, to be honest, I played a little bit of in its previous installment. And I would thought, and literally, this brought back such nostalgia when I first played it. It was literally like classic Super Nintendo RPGing all over again. The controls were on point. The dialogue was adult, but snappy and actually funny and self-referential. It knew it was in a game kind of stuff. They have a new version out. I didn't know it was even out. It's called Doom and Destiny Worlds. First game was literally just called Doom and Destiny. Doom and Destiny Worlds from Heartbit Interactive Set, 4.1 average reviews, 5,000 downloads, T for T, right now $4.99 in the Play Store. I would encourage you, bookmark it, come back. It is always on sale. Basically, this is literally like taking a top tier, and I'm really not over exaggerating or kidding. It's literally like taking a top tier RPG game from Nintendo, Super Nintendo, PlayStation era and putting it into a modern mobile, or it's even better on a tablet or a Chromebook, I'm just saying, format. And you literally can play the game. And it isn't one of those games that takes 40 hours to play. The last one was literally only like, I want to say 4 hours or 5 hours. Just stupid, fun RPGing. And when you started to grind to go up levels, the game knew you were doing that and it called you out on it. Because if you just sit there and grind too much, classic example, Dragon Warrior, as soon as you start, you have red slimes, blue slimes, and ghost. If you just sit there for 2 hours grinding away, the whole rest of the game is much easier. But are you willing to devote that 2 hours? Most people are not. In this game, one of the first things I did in the previous one was just sit there for literally 2 hours and just grinding on the first until I was like level 5 or level 6, and the game called me out on it. It said, "Oh, you think grinding is going to make the rest of the game easy?" Nope. So they literally made the enemies harder. So yeah, just stupid, classic, retro RPG fun. To be honest, it's one of those things, if you calculate how much you pay for an hour, it's still immensely cheaper than watching any movie in any theater in 2023.
True, yeah. Especially probably more entertainment value than most movies you see today.
Yeah. Can't argue that.
It looks fun.
Yeah, Doom and Destiny Worlds. If you're at all a fan of RPGs, classic RPGs, then I think it's definitely worth the time, worth the money.
Or you could just watch The Castle.
Or you could just watch The Castle. Now, there was a TV series here in the U.S. called The Castle.
I think it's just Castle. It's very
You're
confusing.
Right. You are right. It was literally just called Castle, and it was with Nathan Fillion.
Yeah.
And it was also, again, very self-referential. It knew what it was doing, because at one point in time, Nathan Fillion got in a like space cowboy outfit, and his daughter made fun of him.
Yeah, that's actually a pretty good show. I mean, I don't think I've ever seen him do anything that wasn't good.
Thank you. I agree. Not to mention, my wife has a huge crush on him.
Well, I have a crush on him.
I have a crush on him too. Jeez. He's older than me, and he looks younger than me. Yeah.
Yeah. Could you hit that big bonger gong again, Ivor, please?
Yeah.
Big bonger gong.
Do you have any other useless apps, Ivor?
He snagged the bee.
I have a treasure trove of useless apps. Here's one. Now, friends of the show and long-time watchers and listeners will be familiar with my app that I bought a while ago called Auto Boy Black Box, which sounds ruder than it actually is. It's actually a dash cam app for your phone, so you can mount it on your windscreen, and it works. Problem when I got my new Asus Zenfone was that it would destroy the battery. I'd go from like 100% to 20% on a half-hour trip. So it was really heavy on the battery. So I had a look around, try and find a dash cam video that was easier on the battery and wouldn't make the phone so hot. And I came up with Droid Dash Cam Video Recorder, which I've been using for a couple of months now. It uses a fair bit of battery, but my phone is a bit of a battery hog as well. I'm charging it 2 or 3 times a day on average. But I like to have the security of using a dash cam while I'm driving, and this app does everything that the Autoboy Black Box used to do. So it's basically you set it up on your cradle on your phone. You can set it up to record automatically when it connects to your stereo in the car. It will shoot in landscape, portrait, upload to YouTube, or you can change the resolution, all that sort of stuff. So it does basically everything you would expect it to do, and it is a lot easier on the battery, which is really the main reason I'm using it.
Right. Yeah, I'll say to record the entire car trip, it's going to take a lot of battery. That's where you need to have an expensive, high-end, high-amp car 12-volt adapter charger kind of thing, or else no matter what, you're going to have less battery than you did when you started the trip.
Yep. But the Autoboy Black Box, I mean, and on my particular phone, it's a combination of that particular app and my particular phone. It would just destroy the battery. I'd get down to like 10% from 70 after just a short 10-15 minute trip. It would just absolutely ruin it. So I had to change something, and I'm not going to go and buy a new dash cam to install on the car itself. I'm going to use my Android phone, which is a lot cheaper.
So I've never recorded driving because I don't live, well, I kind of live in a communist state, but you actually record the entire trip, and then how long do you keep?
Well, most of my trips are short, so like a maximum of half hour, 20-minute trips, and the city I live in is notorious for crazy drivers. There are just some terrible drivers around, and I know one day I'm going to get fender bended or rear-ended or cut off and have a crash. And I'd like the dash cam to be working at the time so I can prove what's been going on to the insurance company mainly.
Do you delete it directly after the trip, so you're not storing them?
So you can set it to record directly to your SD card. You can set it a maximum level. So I think I've got like 30 gigabyte is the maximum number of size of the files it will store. It creates a new file every 5 minutes, or you can specify the amount of time that you want it to change. So you can say, I want a new file every 2 minutes. It will take still photographs as well at intervals. that you specify, like 1 minute or 10 minutes. Yeah, and you can keep them or you can upload them to YouTube. I don't know. It'll overlay your GPS coordinates and your address and your speed on the video at the same time. Yeah, it does everything. I was really quite impressed with it.
Nice.
Yeah, at Google I/O, that was one of the things that they did highlight. They're going to allow the availability to have a native Android dash cam app. What they highlighted in their app was it's basically going to record nothing. And then if it detects a sudden movement change that it thinks could be an accident, or you hit the magic button on the screen, it will take the last minute and save it. Kind of thing. So if you watch somebody cut somebody else off in front of you, you can hit the button and it will save the last 30 seconds of video cutting. I think it was 30 seconds. It might have been 1 minute. It also said it was going to automatically save everything to Google Cloud. But it insinuated if you just take a trip and nothing drastic happens, or you don't hit that button, nothing is saved. Everything is deleted. Because I will say the worldwide market for dash cams, it might not be in the billions of dollars, but there's enough people out there who want that dash cam so they can say to an insurance company, look, I did what I was supposed to do. This jerk did that, kind of thing. It can immediately offset legality to somebody else. So I'm in favor of dash cams all around. I used to use one every now and then, but yeah, it was hard to keep the battery up. When I upgraded my charger, I was able to get it to where it would slowly charge, but it would charge. I'm okay now, to be honest, because I have 2 phones right now I'm ready to use. I'm fully ready to literally just buy like a $20 or $50 cheap Android phone and just use it as a dash cam and use my other phones as phones or whatever.
Yeah. It can be a bit processor heavy. So if you're going to use a cheap Android phone, make sure it's got a good processor on it.
Just send them one of yours.
from my stockpile.
How many phones do you have within arm's reach?
3.
How about
are we including tablets?
Sure. What about the one on your wrist? Your wrist tablet.
My wrist tablet. Yeah.
5. Technically 6.
Cool.
6.
You've got 6.
Huawei P20 Lite, Droid X, OnePlus, Pixel 6a, Amazon Cheap Fire tablet, Firefox phone, right there. Yeah, they're all around me.
When you need that Firefox phone.
Well, just thank God it isn't like Maximum Overdrive where things start to come to life, and I'm okay for now.
Yeah, they're all just going to start vibrating at once. Then you know it's coming.
Yeah. Let's not say any more. Okay. That was too easy. Let's just say I'm kind of out of apps. I'll just say I'm out of interesting apps is the way I'll put it.
Well, I got one, Door. I got one. You're skipping the line here. This one is called Simple X.
Oh, I saw this.
Or Simple X.
I was almost hesitant to bring it just because I couldn't find any independent code audits or anything like that. I couldn't find any documentation on what they were doing in the background, but everything about it sounded great.
Good. Maybe you can talk about it.
It's a chat client that swears it's completely private, completely secure, completely you don't have to worry about nothing kind of thing.
Peer-to-peer.
Peer-to-peer. Don't have to worry about phone numbers or anything else. Desktop clients, Android clients, everything clients sounds like really good.
Yeah, you don't need any centralized servers, and yeah, I don't think you don't need a phone number. I haven't.
You just need some friends to talk to.
Yeah, exactly.
Unlike Josh.
No, I actually joined a group chat for one of my friends on Nostr. The Renegade Butcher, so it's totally cool and stuff. but yeah,
Yeah, he's
and
awesome.
so he started, and so there's no action whatsoever. But it was kind of interesting to see that you could have a group chat on there as well. It's something to be. I mean, I don't know how many of these over the years have been brought in on this show. Just different chat apps using different protocols or whatever other type of technology. And this one definitely seems better than the rest because I brought it. So it's got to be worth something, right?
So you talked to one guy on this.
No, I haven't talked to anybody on it. Like you said, you need friends. Big bad dong.
It's 3:30. 2:30.
So 7:30 here. So yeah, Dor, if you want to nerd out on this thing, let me know. Or Ivor, I guess we could do it too.
Well,
Eric, you're not invited.
The one like paraphrase thing I'll say is one of the old Steve Gibson quotes is, "Don't try to reinvent security. Go off the backs of other people. Use their security." And then I see in their description using the open source double ratchet protocol, and I thought to myself, I think I'm a nerd. I never heard of open double ratchet protocol, so I had to try to go and look at it. I don't know what else is using it. I don't know. It was hard for me to tell how long it's been around. It's one of those things. I hope they're smarter than I am, and they picked it for a explicit reason. I was trying to find on their blog, on their history, when they selected the double ratchet protocol, and I was really hoping they would give like 2 or 3 paragraphs describing how they made that choice. But at least on their SimpleX Reddit or their website, I couldn't find justification for it.
I'm looking at it here. It says that they had the X3DH key exchange, but that was a mistake. And then there's TLDR. I don't know. That's cool though. I like it. I like the double ratchet protocol. Sounds pretty.
It does.
Pretty
it's definitely better than the single ratchet.
Yeah, or just the single non-ratchet too. Like just the.
I want a triple ratchet or nothing.
He's asking the impossible.
Yeah. And I'll say the app looks unbelievably clean. I know, that might not mean something to people, but it means something to me when an app looks usable, not a whole lot of garbage and junk all over the place kind of thing. I like simple menus, simple interfaces, just bring forward the data.
So are you going to install it or what? Or is the onboarding too complicated?
I didn't try this one yet because I didn't know, I didn't know anybody was on it. And 2, I just couldn't find really good information. One of my core things now is, because I'm old, is I really want anything I use to be independently audited by at least 2 external entities. Then if a company says, like Simple Chat, look, we're taking donations because it isn't free. We have to pay these other people to do these independent audits. Okay, fine. I'll even give you money just because I would like this to be a good app. I'd like it to be a good choice. I would like it to just keep getting better kind of thing. But I can't find anything about them trying to do any third-party independent audits either. So I didn't jump into it yet.
Well, it says a security assessment by Trail of Bits. So, I mean, that sounds like it doesn't get any better than that. Which is another blog post, it looks like. So I don't know if you've heard of Trail of Bits. It's US-based security and technology consultants whose clients include big tech companies.
I will just say security assessment is not the same thing as a code audit. So, I'll just say words matter. That just meant that they did a lot of sniffing on the network and they weren't able to, pull any data out of it.
But it is open source. So it's kind of anybody can.
I know somebody smarter than me needs to do it though, because I look at that stuff and it's just gobbledygook.
So it sounds like the main reason for using something like this, or using this app, would be privacy.
Mm-hmm.
And compared to an app like Signal, which is also pretty private, what are the advantages?
Well, Signal has, I would imagine Signal has servers for one, whereas this claims to be peer-to-peer. So your data is not sitting anywhere except well, it should be end-to-end encrypted, the same as Signal. I brought this one, so it's cool. I mean, that's about all I got, man.
It's got double ratchet. Ratchet system
right.
as well. So
Does Signal use the double ratchet protocol?
Right.
I think not.
I think not.
Yeah, I would say to other people, just to be aware, this is at least the website itself is out of the U.S. I don't know if the company is out of the U.S.
Does Signal need a phone number to start? I think it does, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
It still does, and that's one of the big complaints people have about it.
Yeah, and it's same with WhatsApp. So many people use WhatsApp, and then like my wife's dad, he doesn't have a phone, and so we want to like use WhatsApp or Signal or whatever to do video messaging with him, and we can't do it.
Well, video
Voxer.
messaging.
Okay, video, whatever, like video chat.
Oh, Jitsi.
But yeah. I mean, it would.
It could work, is what I'll say. It could work.
Yeah, but he also has.
So does he just use a laptop? Does he? Does he not have any devices?
No, we bought him an iPad a few years back, so he uses that quite a bit too much sometimes. Hey, Solomon, no screen time. So yeah, he uses that, but then it doesn't matter because that doesn't have a phone number attached to it either.
Right.
It's just whatever. His internet. He has internet beamed down from the top of a hill somewhere. Some guy with a satellite dish, holding up and turning it, and he lives amongst the trees. So, yeah, he's part ape, and it just doesn't. Yeah. Anyway,
Could be worse.
so yeah, let's. If anybody wants to try this Simplex. Let me know. Just
Very
one more messaging app. You need at least 17.
Right.
Yeah. Well, I've got one more app. So this one is called Vivace or Vivace or something like that. I'm not sure how to pronounce it. But for the last since January, I think I've been learning how to play guitar, and part of that process has been learning how to read music, and it's been quite difficult. I found this app on the Play Store, which basically will show you a piece of sheet music or some notes on a staff, and get you to guess which note it is. And it's some very simple exercises. You go through it, and you try and guess the correct note, and if you get it right, you get it right. And if you get it wrong, it tells you get it wrong, and it gives you a score at the end of it. And it goes from all sorts of staffs and clefs and flats and sharps and all sorts of stuff like that. So you can include just major notes or these more obscure major, minor, flats and sharps. Very, very handy for learning to learn to read sheet music. One thing it doesn't do is tell you that you can't interact with, you're playing with it, so you can't adapt so I can't sit down and play the notes that it's showing me on the screen on my guitar and then have it tell me whether they're correct or not. That's kind of, I can't find any apps that do that, or there are some that claim to do that, but they just don't work for me. So this is a very useful app for learning to play any musical instrument, because basically it just focuses on learning to recognize the notes in the staff. So if you're into that, this is a cool app to try out. You read music, Josh?
No, man, that's definitely a gap in my knowledge base, is anything music related.
Right. No, this is quite a good app. It's, if you just got a spare 5 minutes and before you need to go somewhere or do something, and I'll just do a bit of sight reading practice. So you can use the app to do some sight reading, and usually, I manage to get around about 80 to 90%. You can set yourself targets to to get to 100% for each exercise. And as you go through the different exercises, it throws in different types of exercises with those more obscure notes and flats and sharps. So it's really a good way to learn how to read music, I felt.
Is it free?
It is free. It's definitely helped me as well. So.
Nice. You're mostly on guitar these days?
Yeah, mainly. Only guitar, really. That's enough, really. I'm thinking about taking up the bells.
For whom they told, we do not know. Okay, I'm gonna bring one more if you guys are okay with that.
Sure thing.
We're not gonna get out of this without a little Noster talk. So this is called Plebster, Plebstr, and it's just another. Last time I brought Amethyst. This is just a different Noster client on Android. I used it for a bit. I like Amethyst better, but it's nice to have different options. And yeah, I mean, this has all the functionality of being able to send sats to people, small amounts of Bitcoin and images and everything else that you can do on Noster, which I brought this basically to ask Ivor what he thinks of Noster, because he's been trolling around since the last episode that we were on together. So
yeah, well, I made the promise to you that I would try it out at our last episode. So yeah, I tried it out and I've been quite impressed. Usually, I mean, there's a lot of Bitcoin stuff on it, which doesn't really interest me a hell of a lot. But if you're into Bitcoin, that's a good thing. I like the controls around it, so you can block and hide stuff you don't want to see, which is great. Yeah, there seem to be some, at the moment it's early days, so there seem to be some genuinely nice people in there. I'm still waiting for all the Nazis and the scam artists and the pornographers to show up, but once they do, it'll probably change a bit.
Then you'll be happy, or what?
No, then I'll get out, I think. Yeah.
Well, that's the one of the things that I find the most intriguing about it is that being able to curate your own feed. You know, I don't even ever go into the world feed. I've got a couple hashtags that I follow, and then just people that I've found, and that's it. And it's perfect. Like, it's just the content that I want to see. And like you said, if there is something that comes through, it's easy to just block and hide, and you're not reporting somebody. You know, you're not telling mommy that somebody said a bad word. You're saying, okay, I don't want to see any more of this, whatever. And then it's just done.
Yeah, I'll say that stream feed view they have, if you don't understand how to use that basic interface, then just don't use the app, because it is the easiest. You just simply, you see a posting and it's very obvious. You click this is going to happen. You click this is going to happen. You can easily see the entire conversation. And then right from there, you can easily click somebody and who you think made an intelligent comment and say, hey, I'll follow that person. So it is one of the easier social media kind of stream feeds interfaces I will say that I've used.
Yeah, and it's your feed starts off as nothing.
Literally.
There's a global feed, and then there's a sentence that says your feed is empty. And then you curate it with whatever you want, and there are no algorithms that are selling you something or pushing what they want in front of your eyeballs. It's just whatever you choose and people that you choose to follow.
Well, yeah, I will say if you have somebody you know that's already using it, they can get you from 0 to like 10 miles an hour very quickly, and then you on your own can easily go from 10 to like full speed kind of thing.
There are also Noster lists. I can't Google it, but and so that's other people's lists of people of individuals they follow. So you can grab one of those and just insert it as well. And as far as all the Bitcoin talk, there's very little of that on my feed just because it's mostly all permaculture and stuff like that, and the Renegade Butcher, just.
Yeah, I'm following hashtag. Hashtags are very important. So I'm following the Grow Noster hashtag, which shows up with a lot of Bitcoin stuff. So
Really?
just get out of that.
Oh, that might be something else that maybe you're automatically following Bitcoin or something, because that's one of the only ones I follow too, is the Grow Noster one. And there's more now, because I think they're starting to realize like, oh, this is actually a big hashtag. It started off small and then a lot of people, because I don't know, Dor, you ever heard of Jack Spirko?
Don't believe so.
The survival podcast?
Nope.
It's been around since about 2008, and I just found it recently. Check it out. I find it pretty intriguing.
Gotcha.
This guy's he's been around the block.
Right. Super quick shout out, Brett and Swift in the chat. And seeing Swift reminds me that I should remind you, Josh, that Swift hosts a very one of the extreme nicer Discord servers I've ever been on. Literally just called Nerd Stuff. If you want to link to it, I'll send it to you. But one of the channels in his Discord server is literally just plants. Where
nice.
Right, Swift has his own things going on with plants. Seems like he spends a good amount of time with that, is what I'm going to say. And he's very interested in like local gardening and kind of things like that. So that would be, I think, interesting for you to cross your paths.
For the nerds, he says.
Yeah,
I think Swift needs to join Noster is what's going on here.
Yeah, it pays to have a good dig around in the settings and the functions, just so you get familiar with all the different things it can do. So have a good play with it.
And it's a good lesson or it can be a good lesson in key management as well, which I think as we move into the future, there will be more technology that uses cryptographic key pairs.
Oh yeah.
And so this Noster is a good way for people to learn about that without risking anything at all, really, because if you have an established account or whatnot and you lose your keys, then that sucks. But you can make another one and it's free. You can make as many accounts as you want. Really, it's just generating a new key pair. But then that being able to keep that secure is, it's good. It's good technology hygiene is what it is.
Yeah, good way to put it.
And then along with that comes the penny for your thought idea of the interconnectivity of Bitcoin in there, which Ivor was saying took a while to set up, but I mean, what do you think of that now? Because that's your first Bitcoin, right?
Yeah, that's my first. I've got a Bitcoin wallet, and now I can send people sats. I still have no idea how I can find out how many sats I've got or how many sats I've sent to other people. But yeah, I mean, it seems a bit. I haven't really taken much interest in that side of it, but a lot of people seem to appreciate it.
Well, and that's one of the things I think most of these networks attaching to this protocol is doing correctly. They're not forcing that side upon you. They're letting you just use it as almost like a Twitter clone if you want. And then if you are interested in the Bitcoin stuff, it's there.
Yeah, it's a nice way to say, hey, what I think you're doing on here is really cool. Here's some Bitcoin, there's some little bits of Bitcoin that I think you might appreciate. It's just a way of saying thanks a lot. I think what you're doing is great.
But there's also use cases where people are selling things on there also, where you can pay through Noster using Bitcoin for tangible goods.
Yeah, that's right. I came across a guy in Australia who's doing guitar lessons online for Bitcoin, for sats. So he's trying that out. I was tempted to try, but I've already paying $200 a month for my current guitar lessons.
Yeah, there's somebody that just sold some comfrey, which is a type of plant from
Thank God.
Yeah.
from the U.S. to Canada
Oof.
using sats, and then the Renegade Butcher, he sells coffee and seasonings, and there's another lady that sells coffee on there, and you just direct payment to the producer of the product.
And I'm a
Right.
big fan of that. It's almost like you want to go to local stores because you want to put your money into the community. I love the fact of being able to go to an individual without having anybody taking percentages off here or there and saying, here's some money for you.
Yeah, and it is the modern penny for your thought, right? But you can even give fractions of a penny. Every day I'm probably bringing in, I don't know, 500 sats, something like that on average, and paying out 1,000. But it's great. If you see a picture, boom, here you go. Here's a little bit of value for that time and effort that you put in.
Right. Very cool.
And I actually haven't put any of my own money into it. I just have got sats from other people, and I just pass them on to whoever I think deserves it. So I've not put any of my own personal money into it.
Well, it's a welcoming community. I mean, once you join, if people, I love giving people their first sats. Like there's been a few people that it's the first Bitcoin they've ever gotten. Like you, I think I gave you your first.
Yeah.
Your first Bitcoin, right?
You deflowered him.
I
You
certainly
deflowered
did.
me. Yeah.
I certainly did. Dor. Look at the smile on his face.
Brings a tear to my eye.
Well, it's amazing to see the people when they get on there, though, because it is so much different than when people are coming from Twitter
or Facebook.
Yeah, and then they just say, "Oh, wait a minute, it can be like this. It doesn't have to be just a cesspool of Reddit
Of psychotic rants and screaming matches." Yeah.
Yeah, and curated feeds that are being put because some agenda that are being put in front of you, and it just cleanses away all of that, and it just gets down to it's that peer-to-peer thing again. And I mean, I'm starting to sound preachy, I'm sure, but I really think that is a model going forward. And whether Nostr itself takes off or I mean, it could fold, who knows, but it's a really good example as to how something should be run using protocols instead of proprietary software to create
API.
community. Yeah.
Yeah. So you're the one in control. You decide what you want to see.
Yeah, and anybody can create on it. You could build your own app, or if you don't like Amethyst, for instance. I forked Amethyst the other day. We'll say that slow too, I guess.
Yeah.
And I have no idea how to run. I downloaded the what is the Android? What is it? The
Studio.
Android
Okay.
Studio. Yeah, the Android Studio.
Yeah.
On my computer in order to try to figure out how to edit Android code. Basically, I'm not even sure what it's written in, but you can do that, right? You can just fork someone else's project that's open source and create your own out of it, or just create your own from scratch. It's hard to do with Twitter or Facebook or anything else.
Right. Very good stuff. So do you guys have any
There are 4 New Zealanders on there at the moment.
What's that?
I'm one of them. There are 4 New Zealanders on there at the moment.
I don't know, Dor. What do you reckon? I mean, I would say there's probably thousands of people.
It has to be, honestly, tens of thousands or more.
Yeah.
Just because it doesn't matter what time of night or day you log in. If you have the right hashtag, there's people posting right now.
Or if you just go to the world feed, you can
Right.
see.
Oh,
and
it
there's
doesn't stop.
lot of Japanese I see. Like
Yep.
it
Yeah,
seems to
that
be
as well.
pretty big there. And then there's quite a few Canadians and Americans and 4 New Zealanders.
Mhm.
So and yeah, Swift or anyone else, I would recommend the Grow Noster hashtag
Yeah.
if you're looking for flowers and plants and just not necessarily survival, but just that type of meat, like
Green
self.
thumbish. Yeah.
Yeah, and just self-sufficiency.
Uh-huh. Yep. I
And
agree.
and I'm I think if you just search Permanerd, PERMANERD, I think you could find me. And Ivor, what's your handle on Noster?
Ivor.
Ivor Davies, I think it is.
Ivor Tola.
I'm weird like that. I have I use my name and my actual photograph.
It's Ivor
So-
Ivor Tola.
Ivor Tola, that's right. That's my nickname.
Yeah, that's what it is on there. And Door,
Yeah,
do you
Ivor
know?
Tola.
Door is NPUB 59683
Something like that, yeah.
546.
Something like that. Because as soon as I started posting, I said, "Who the hell is this?" Oh crap, it's me.
But that's cool though, because I mean it's interesting because people can see what a key looks like.
Well,
this is
Well, that, and here's the devil's advocate argument from not me, is it starts out being completely with anonymity in mind, if I say that word correctly, to where it first starts with being completely private, and then it's your option to reveal what you want to reveal about yourself, which I'll say nothing in my life has ever been like that I've ever joined. Everything insists, no, we need a real name. We need a first name. We need a last name. We need an email address. We need this. We need this. No, this app was literally like, we don't care who you are, what you identify as, what part of the planet you're on. You're now known as this random character string until you decide otherwise.
Yeah, that's a great point, Dor.
Hmm?
So the what you're looking for is I'm such an idiot. The protocol additions, like I think at Bitcoin it's a BIP when it's kind of amendments to the protocol. In Nostr they're called NIPs. And so I had a childish giggle at one point and then realized I'm an idiot and stopped that insanity. But yeah, and so the NIP 5 is your data. So it's kind of a DNS lookup almost, which you can host your own file, or you can pay a few sats. Like I'm on nosterplebs.com or something like that, whatever, and gave them 2,000 Satoshis. And then you put in all your details, and that's where you get your handle and your, and you can put in.
Gotcha.
You can set, yeah. So it's not part of the base protocol.
Right.
It's a amendment on that where you can put all your information.
I'll explain it. To me, it's like OAuth. It's not the platform you're on, but it's a separate entity that is verifying your authentic you. That's you, and you're known as this.
Yeah, you use your secret key,
right, to prove your identity
to them, and then now all of the apps are looking that data up. So I'm pretty sure that you could do your own. Like Door at DoorToDoorGeek.com, and then you just host that file in whatever JSON format or whatever format it is. And if it's publicly accessible, then it can pull your data from there. I'm pretty sure that's how it works.
Gotcha. So right now, today, on this day, if you were to insist on one app to use to bring you into the Nostr, and I'm going to take a quick pause and say Nostr is spelled Nostr. If someone says today they want to join in on the Nostr world, what would you suggest is the right way to go about it? Would it be using Amethyst or something else, or what?
Yeah, probably Amethyst, or I don't really use it on the computer very much. I think people like primal.net, or there's another one called Iris, or what's the other one called? Let me see here. Snort. Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, but I would say that I would go with Amethyst on Android, or if for some reason somebody's listening to this with an iPhone, Damus, which I thought was pretty funny. Nostradamus, but yeah, that would be the way to go. And hit me up. I would say, Ivor, after your experience, would you recommend using Albi as far as getting started with a Bitcoin wallet?
Yes. Yeah. There was once I'd figured out where everything was on the display, because the wrong size for my screen. I couldn't find where I could link my Albi wallet to my Nostr profile. Once I had that figured out, it was dead easy.
Yeah, it's not super intuitive, that part of it. But again, this is so new that some of the.
You don't have to have it either. You don't have to have a Bitcoin. You don't have to have an Albi wallet.
No,
you just
I would recommend
use it without.
Yeah, but I
would recommend you do it.
Does add something, and it also, I mean, there's the purple pill, which is what people are calling joining the Nostr protocol.
Gotcha.
And then there's the orange pill, which is getting people into Bitcoin. And I think they work pretty well together as I mean, they're perfect for each other when it comes down to it. The decentralized payment with a decentralized communication platform.
Well, I'll just say here in America, it was like a multi-year study, and they showed what are the two most hated colors in America. Okay? Here in Baltimore, we have the Baltimore Ravens and we have the Baltimore Orioles.
Purple and orange.
And they are the two most hated colors in America, purple and orange. I don't know why. I find purple to be perfectly fine.
Cool. Swift said he's going to download it. This is fun. You guys finally found something I'm interested in.
That's what she said.
Yeah, Door. Yeah, hit me up, man. Let's get you sorted as far as the NIP5 and or you could look me up and I'll follow you.
I'm already following you.
Well, yeah, but that's one of the difficulties is well, yeah, who are you?
And I've already commented on some of your stuff.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought you're just another NPub.
Mm-hmm. Same thing with you, Ivor. I've already commented on some of your stuff.
Yeah, you're like a silent troll. Okay, so I guess could you send me a message or something, like a direct? And that's one of the things they'll say too, is that there is the possibility of direct messaging.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't use it as a Signal alternative or a Simplex alternative. But if you want to just talk to somebody and you're not, I think it's encrypted somewhere, but I wouldn't use it as.
I would expect it to be, but yes, if you want to have super secure conversations, this might be a jumping off point platform protocol, but it might not be the desired platform protocol.
Yeah, generally you don't want an open ledger as far as so. And then it just gets as complicated as you want to make it as well, with different relays and stuff like that, but we'll save that for next time.
Unless you really want your conversation dictated for historical sake, yeah.
Yeah. And that's another thing too, that you could run your own relay and become completely uncensorable.
Right. And I do believe that they even offered it as a downloadable VM, which is the easiest way to set up these kind of things.
I set one up on the Umbrel, and I spent a little bit of time with it, but just I think if it was on a VPS somewhere, but being on a home network, it's just a bit convoluted as to how to access it in a way that the rest of the world didn't access it. Like when I first started up, I started seeing a bunch of Japanese characters. I said, well, I don't know what's happening here. I can't even see it on my own phone, and it's not worth trying to set it up like that.
Yeah.
Right.
It's worthwhile persisting. I think you'll find someone who you like and has some interesting content, and show you some cool stuff.
Yeah, and I've had an answer to every question I've asked to in polite manners and from people that obviously have experience. So I've used it as a tool, and it's worked pretty well. And I mean, I think I have probably a bit over 400 followers, which I don't know if I've ever had 10 in anything, because I've never actually posted anywhere about anything. And this has made it quite pleasurable to interact with other human beings.
Very
So
cool.
Swift's asking how he does the key thing. Probably a good point to note is that what you're given when you first sign up is an encrypted key that you need to keep private and to yourself. That's your NPub, is it?
No, that's your NPub's a public one. There's
Right. Yeah, so the NPub's a public one.
NSEC, I think, which is for secret,
Right.
which is your secret code.
Private.
Yeah. So keep that private, but there's a public key as well, which you use to follow other people, and so other people can follow you as well.
Yeah, and one thing to note, if you're using Amethyst or any of the other apps, you can create that key pair, the public and secret key, in the app. But another way you can do it is through Albi. So Albi started off as, I think it probably stemmed around mostly podcasting 2.0 and being able to accept boostograms and connected to the Lightning Network that way.
Right.
And now they've incorporated almost a Noster key management into their environment as well. And so you can generate Noster key pairs through the Albi app if you don't want to do it on the app. So I think having a random, if you really want to be anonymous and security, the highest security you can have is to somehow generate a key pair offline and then use that. And so you're not, that's one of the things when you create a key pair on Amethyst, what do they do? Right? I mean, if they have your secret key, then technically they could hijack the account. So that's just probably more in depth than needs to be. But
it's a good security measure to have, I suppose. And you've got your own individual key.
Yeah.
That only you know.
But I mean,
I decide who you can share that with.
I set mine up through the Amethyst app, so I think that there's some recommendations to use Albi now to generate the key pair, and then you can just carry it to any app that you want to. Go from iPhone to computer to Android to a Noster marketplace somewhere,
Cool.
Very cool.
So Swift's already on it, he's saying. You need some help to go and find people and channels. So I think your key there is to just do a hashtag search in the feed.
Yeah, I just put mine in there,
In the
Swift.
global
If
feed.
you want to look me up, I can. When we're on there, I can point you on directions on the app, which might be easier.
Yeah, in the app there's a picture of a globe, which is the fourth icon at the bottom, and that's your global feed. And you just enter your hashtag in there that you're interested in, and away you go.
Yeah, that was a part too. That's a little bit clunky. Is needing to go to the global feed to search. But I guess it makes sense in a way. So, Noster app addicts. Thank you for allowing me to go on a diatribe, and it's a good conversation.
Very cool. Do we want to do like an app, like a rundown?
Sure.
The first one Dor brought up was Motion Monkey, that just had a major update. And then probably the app of the day, which is Ivor's Big Ben Bonger Plus by UMike Apps. Real apps filling real needs. I didn't read that. Think Thing by the Think Thing community. And then we talked a little bit about Fairbuds XL, the Fairbuds headphones. And then Seek by iNaturalist. PlantNet by PlantNet. Doom and Destiny Worlds by Heartbit Interactive SRL. Droid Dashcam Video Recorder by Droid Cool Apps. Simplex Chat by Simplex Chat. And then Vivace Learn to Read Music by Dreamhound Studios. And then Plebster by Tweet Toshi. I think that was an extensive list.
Very cool.
Also
very
Amethyst,
cool.
I suppose.
Yeah, an Amethyst.
Yeah, I'll make sure there's a link to that, just like there was a link in episode 592 to Amethyst. I'll make sure I put it in here too.
And there will be in 595.
Well, it's definitely possible, is what I'll say.
Although on YouTube, it says Android App Addicts number 5,937.
Nuh-uh.
At the
It
bottom.
does. It does.
And I noticed earlier that it was 420 subscribers, but now it's 419, which is sad.
We lost one already.
Too much Noster talk.
They're all gone off to Noster.
Dang it.
I got to tell you, though, this is Noster, your average podcast.
Yeah.
Okay, do you have any parting words for the crowd there, Josh?
No, get outside and whoa. Sorry, I got some. Yeah, get outside, whether it's cold or sunny, and use that app that Ivor brought to identify some fauna and some plants and things like that around you, and get in touch with nature a bit.
Very cool, very cool. Ivor, any parting sounds or words?
My back hurts. I'm deaf. I'm getting old. Social media is too confusing for me. I give up. But at least I know what the time is because I've got my Big Ben Bonger. See me recording of you saying Big Ben Bonger 50 times quickly.
All that means is that you fit in, Ivor. I want to say thanks to everyone for the downloads. Thank everyone for the subscriptions. Thank everyone for the emails or the Discords or the Nosters or any place where they interact with anybody else in the Podnutz community. Crazy month here. As soon as my son maybe joins the military, things might slow down for a couple weeks. But we're going to do our best to keep bringing you guys stuff. Gotta thanks Eric, Swift, Red, Brent, everybody for hanging out in the chat. Without you guys coming out and hanging in the chat, we would have a really hard time thinking of show titles, is what I want to say. But I think we have some good ones this week. So with that, Ivor, Josh, love you guys. Thank you guys for hanging out. And we will talk to everyone again real soon.
Well, I think that was a banger, guys.
It was a ripper.
It's a ripper. Yo, ripper.
But it's what you do with it.
Being the ideas, man. I've just put some show titles in the chat, but they're all joined together for some reason. I don't know.
You. figure it out.
I do like Genghis Khan Academy. Big bong reveal.
The Double Ratchet Protocol sounds like an episode of was it The Big Bang Theory?
Big Bang Theory, yeah. I can't find you, Swift. If you want to send a message. On Noster. Oh, wait. Hold on a minute. You already did. Sweet.
He's good like that.
Now you just need to get your wallet set up, and I'll send you some Bitcoin.
Well, one good thing about the Amethyst app is I don't get any notifications from it. Anything happens on there, it doesn't tell me, which is great.
Oh, really?
Exactly how I want it.
I've started to get some when people zap, which I need to figure out how to turn off because, yeah, like you, I don't really want to get them. But it's only, I think it was the last update.
Right. I think so.
Got a sore shoulder, Door.
Oh, yeah, man.
Still bugging you.
Yeah, they basically said that they didn't want to do surgery because I've been compensating for it for so long. They think I should keep compensating for it.
That's also why you have a big pickup, right?
So, sorry, are we turning off Audacity?
Oh, yeah, turn off. Yeah.
Mine might be a little bit longer than most people.
That's what she said. Oh, man.
Yeah, they were like, if we do the surgery, you won't be able to turn your head. Like, yeah, so? Well, no, you don't understand. You won't be able to turn your head. Yeah, so?
Yeah,
Does that mean you
I'd
can't
rather not have the pain. Thanks a lot. Yeah.
Does that mean you can't get a proctology exam either? Or not proctology, when they cup your nuts, turn your head and cough? Sorry, can't do it, Doc.
Hernia testing.
No, I think it's when you have to turn your head when they put their finger. Moon River.
That's different. That's different. That's checking the prostate.
Oh.
Slightly different. Just a little different, about 2 or 3 inches that way.
You have to use the whole hand, Doc?
And penetration versus no penetration. Oh, man.
Yeah, Swift, that's what we were talking about with the NIP 5. Whoa.
I love you, Swift. I love you, Swift.
Oh, man, what am I doing?
Yeah, we're all just getting by.
Making our way in the world today.
I watched a great 3-part series. I never watch anything, right? I watched a great 3-part series on Netflix. I want to say it was literally just called Arnold. And it was a look at him. The first part was him as an athlete. The second part was him as a actor. And the third part was him as a American, aka when he got into office. I mean, if there was ever to be a foreigner, not a native born person to be the president of the United States, I would have voted for him. The stuff he did in California, I would have definitely voted for him. Because he pissed off both parties. The Republicans, he was a Republican. The Republicans hated him because he actually worked with Democrats to get stuff done. And then the hardcore Democrats were like, we can't trust him. We can't trust him. We can't trust him. But he got lots of stuff done. Done so much, he was reelected a second time in a clearly Democratic state.
Yeah, he also said screw your freedom to people when they. Yeah.
How?
What's that?
How?
It was during the COVIDian.
He wasn't involved in COVID. He was well out of office by kind of.
No, I understand that, but he made a public comment about people that decided not to go along with it, and basically
Well, he believed you should have gotten a shot.
Yeah,
He's German. What do you expect?
Screw your feet.
He's Australian.
He's Australian.
And Austrian people are much less free, I would say that. Which is one of the reasons why he got out of Austria.
Good eye, mate. Is the kangaroos, man.
Well, and in the series, he almost came out and said it exactly. But basically, his dad was a Nazi, and they were on the losing side of the war. So when the war was over, he came home. He was no good. He spent 3 days buried in rubble, dug himself out, and now when he came home, all he did was drink and beat up his wife and kids. Which is one of the reasons why he said, I have to get out of Australia. I don't belong here. Austria.
Yeah, I'm just making sure that you're aware that there's a difference.
There is. It's about 8,000 miles.
Yeah, right.
Something like that. Yeah.
Less dingoes in Austria.
Much less. That and they showed his hometown. Oh my God, beautiful. Nothing but hills and farms. Like gorgeous area.
Right. Well, I'm going to have to go and collect my daughter from the bus. Sorry.
Okay.
So lovely to talk to you guys again.
Upload your audio to whatever service you like to upload it, and just shoot me the link.
Yeah, it's currently uploading to my Google Drive, and I'll send you that link.
Okay.
When it's through.
Is your Nextcloud not working, Door?
I'm sorry.
No,
I keep trying to upload. Every time I try to update it, no matter how I try to update it, it goes boom. So what I've been looking at lately is I want to say it's called CASS. And what it is, it's like a global dashboard operating system for ARM or virtual or x86 computers. And in that dashboard scenario, it will manage things you install. And one of the things it will let you install is Nextcloud. So I've been trying to get that up and running, believing that's my problem is I need something else to manage my Nextcloud. Because obviously when I hit upgrade, it's the wrong time to hit upgrade.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, maybe we should try Sync Thing and just have a directory that's...
Oh, I guarantee that will work. I guarantee that will work without any hesitation. Yeah.
Why don't we just do that?
It's too easy.
It never crashes. Why am I going to use that?
Oh.
All right, have a good see you, man.
Very good to see you. Thank you for coming out, man.
Oh, he doesn't care. He's out of here.
He's fine.
If it makes you feel any better, Door, my arm is a bit screwed right now, too, and my finger's numb.
No. Is it? Which fingers?
That one.
Not good. You know what that means? Ulnar nerve. Ulnar nerve is the nerve that is basically these two fingers. Everything down here, these two fingers is ulnar nerve.
Yeah, I've been going over to my neighbor Larry's house and shooting the bow. He's got a cache of bows, so he's teaching me how to shoot. Right. And I shoot a rifle left-handed, like my left eye is dominant, and I just always have. And so I decided to try out a left-handed bow that he had today, and maybe shot a few too many, and my finger went numb. So, but
pulling it back is a lot of this right here.
Yeah,
it really is, and it's a lot of this.
Ooh, yeah, I like that.
Exactly.
No, I was doing pretty well though with the right. Like I was putting them at about 40 feet in about that.
What kind of bow?
It's a recurve. So
compound?
No. Recurve, no compound. No. So it's the one that we're using is a 45-pound draw.
Gotcha.
Which is
as
about low as you can go for hunting, I think.
Yeah, exactly. Because once you go above like 50, 55 is when it requires some like core strength to get it past that beginning part. Yeah.
Yeah, it's good though, man. It's good.
Yeah, the 45 I found to be the most comfortable because it wasn't a lot of effort. It was equally as hard all the way back. And then when you got it into that comfortable spot, you were able to literally just take your time without any extra effort. Just hold it there and then go.
Yeah, I think I probably did about 50 or 60 shots with the left and then another 75 with the right.
Damn, you were busy.
Yeah, it's good though. It's a good skill to have.
Well, I'll tell you in the Voxer chat, Aaron Turnbull, if you want to do any archery stuff or know about any archery stuff, he literally wins awards. When he goes to competitions and he literally wins awards, and his kids win awards too, because he's such a marksman with the bow.
He's so good his kids wins award.
Literally, yeah, and he's just a super nice guy.
Yeah, I mean, I've communicated with all those guys on a limited basis. Yeah. But yeah, cool. I'd like to. I mean, this is about the third time I've gone over to Larry's house, and
right.
He's been a hunter for a long time, and he's an old farmer and just like a brick shit house.
Right, exactly. Built so tough you can't even like dent him.
Yeah,
the way people used to be. Yes.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what I'm really trying to get back to as well, and trying to instill in Solomon is just that, like, men are men. You know.
How dare you? How dare you?
Yeah, like just be strong, be tough. You don't have to you don't have to try to beat people up. Not that kind of tough.
Well, there's a difference between being manly and being macho. There's a big difference. Yeah. All right, man. I gotta actually hop off of here shortly.
Okay.
Actually, I have stupid housework to do, but I have all the links saved and all of the suggested names of the show. Genghis Khan Academy, which I will say is good. Genghis Khan's Big Bonger. Big Bong Reveal. Double Ratchet Protocol. Real Apps Filling Real Needs. Noster, Your Average Podcast. I'm sorry, but that one might actually win. Just because.
Well, you get the SEO.
Yeah, exactly.
Thanks for hanging through that Genghis Khan joke too there, Dor, that I made up.
It worked. I'm not going to lie. It worked. I went right along with it.
Yeah. Just so terrible.
Yeah. Actually,
there's something that Sandra's been doing. It's called myoactivation. I wonder if it would. I bet she could. I'm not betting anything. There's a chance that she could cure you without surgery using needles and heroin, but mostly needles. No, it's not acupuncture, but it's specifically targeting areas with the needle, and she's having unbelievable results with her clients and with me too. Like my back hasn't felt this good in a long time. My neck has been pooch I mean, it still hurts, but it's been extremely helpful.
Yeah, it's like every time I turn my head left, it just hurts like hell. And driving, making head checks sucks. I have cars with cameras looking this way, looking right, but no cameras looking left. So anytime I do anything left, I have to make a head check. Every time I do,
I wonder, let me see.
Yeah, my sister-in-law swears I need to just get in her hot tub.
Oh, that's kinky.
She is what she is.
So what is the, I'm just looking to see if there's something near you. But what's your diagnosis?
I have 3 places in between the disc that are basically like they've had damage to them, so they're basically there isn't enough cartilage between 3 of my disc, so it's basically causing a pinch, which because of where it's at in my neck is causing pain from here down to here and over and up.
So it's pinched nerves due to degeneration of vertebrae or of
That's nearly the perfect term. They did say it was degenerative, but I don't know the word they used. It isn't the disc itself. The bones are fine. It's the things between the bones. The
right. Yeah, the little shock absorbers.
Yeah, exactly. So that's
Okay.
where it damaged that.
I'll talk to her about it and see what she says, because
Right.
it's a newish technique, and she's been doing it on a lot of her clients, and she said that there's people that couldn't walk, and like this kind of like she comes home with these stories that sound like the evangelist on TV, like well, you are healed, and then they get out of their wheelchair and start walking. So maybe there's something that can be done.
I mean, I'm sure there is something. I just got to talk to the right people.
I suppose I should be editing too, Door.
Well, we'll be all right, man. All right, I think I'm going to go hop in the shower.
It's a good call. You stink.
And yeah, stink, and then try to be as much of a half-ass I can tomorrow at work. Just to fit in. I got to fit in,
That's right. That's right. You're going to get Employee of the Year probably for that.
Exactly. I'm going to shut the stream off. Thank you guys for coming out.
Yeah, it's good to see everybody again.